point. I think, Ayaz, you want to take that? I mean, look, the easiest thing is to blame the IPL, use the IPL as a punching bag. But the fact is, yes, he's right. I mean, the last T20 World Cup that India won was before the launch of the IPL. We have not won a T20 World Cup since 2007.
Well, I mean, look, that's also the nature of the beast. India has done actually consistently well in reaching the semis very often, once a final. West Indies, twice winners, were knocked out before not even getting into the Super 12 this time. So these kind of things can happen. My bigger concern is that India is the richest, biggest country in the sport, massive talent pool. We should be doing better than just about reaching the semis and crashing out repeatedly. I think that's really the issue. And even if you look closely at this tournament, Zaka, you had a couple of matches, maybe 3 matches, where we just got it by a hair's breadth, so to speak. We beat Pakistan on the last ball. We lost to South Africa on the last ball, and we beat Bangladesh on the last ball. I mean, these are, your easy wins, so to speak, have come against Netherlands and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So all the other teams are actually doing very well against India, the major teams, which shows that the gap isn't much in terms of talent.
Of
and
course.
Therefore, India's thought process needs to be changed where this white ball cricket is concerned.
I think the nub of the problem.
Yeah,
let me ask Maninder Singh this. The nub of the problem is also in the personnel, in the team, the squad that went, and in the team that eventually turned up in the park. I mean, for the longest time, okay, this management said DK is going to be our finisher, so we're taking DK with us to Australia. DK plays a few games, you drop him in the game against Zimbabwe, and the last 2 games, Rishabh Pant comes in. Look at the whole situation between Chahal and Ashwin. Chahal is your leading wicket taker. The English today, for God's sake, played 2 leg spinners. They used Livingston for his leg spinning skills. Adil Rashid was outstanding as the lead English leg spinner. But Chahal is your leading wicket taker. You bench him for the entire tournament. And Ashwin is playing, and Akshar Patel is playing in his place. This whole confused, personnel selection, I think, and KL Rahul, I can't for the life of me explain how and why KL Rahul continues to be as the opener in this team, because either he's not cut out for that role or he needs a break. I don't know. I mean, he's just not been in form in this tournament and even in the run up to it. Maninder Singh.
See, basically, I think if you're talking about KL Rahul, he's come back from a break. He had an injury and, he came back after that break and, he's not looked the KL Rahul that he is when he played that series against Zimbabwe. I don't know, he was in 2 minds all the time. The thought process, as I've been talking about, wasn't very clear. There was no clarity of thought. Like, when the English batsmen, openers came into bat, they were very clear in their mind they're going to attack. And that is why the Indian bowlers went on the back foot. I mean, the Indian bowlers started playing to their strengths. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is somebody who likes to swing the ball and get wickets first up. But he started bowling short, so not giving enough time for the ball to swing. So how are you going to get wickets? Because you don't have that speed. So, that clarity of thought as far as KL Rahul is concerned, you're talking about making him the captain. I mean, that's ridiculous, honestly, because I don't think he deserves a place in T20 side, at least as of now.
Okay.
And Dinesh Karthik, honestly, I think he's just finished 1 game in the entire career of his that I've seen. And you keep calling him the finisher. I think Rishabh Pant, the X factor, should have played from game 1. And Chahal should have always been there. He always gets you wickets, and especially in the middle overs, who was warming the benches. So, I think the captain, in Rohit Sharma, not being in good form, probably couldn't think right.
The personnel selection was completely all over the place. And I guess you're right. I mean, if the captain is not in form, your thought process is confused. You're not sure who to back and who to go with. Anyway, let me get more callers in. Shawdeep is calling us from Vadodara. Shawdeep.
Good afternoon, Jacka, and hello to the honorable guest. What I found that Indian team today is overconfident and they need a little bit of discipline. Though the T20 matches have taken the traditional way.
All right, there's a problem with Saudi's audio. Apologize for that. Let's move on to our next caller. Ravi is calling us from Bangalore. Ravi.
Yeah, hi, Jacka. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Good evening, Jacka.
Good evening.
Okay, my limited point, and I've been making this point earlier as well in different occasions. we have got an excellent bench strength. I think this is high time we'll have to have 3 teams, one for T20, one for 50 over, and one for Test cricket, with a very minimal overlapping, like 1 or 2 players having not more than 1 or 2 formats kind of a thing. Because we've got an excellent bench strength, and the plan in future should be that you'll have to select about 15 people for T20, 15 people for 50 over, and dedicate all the training, everything should be dedicated. And I would go one step further and say you have different coaches for them, because it's a different ball game altogether for a different game, right?
All right, thanks Ravi for your call. Let me get Deepdas Gupta also into this conversation. Again, Deepdas Gupta, we were talking about the confused selection of A, the squad, and B, the team, whether it's between an Ashwin and a Chahal, whether it's between, Arshdeep was your standout bowler. Today, he ended the day with 2 overs to spare. He did not bowl his full quota of 4 overs, and he's your best bowler. Confused selection throughout between a DK and a Rishabh Pant. Is it because there's confusion at the top? Because let's face it, whether you like it or not, the buck stops with the captain and with the coach. And so it should be.
Yes, Zaka, and no as well at the same time, because I think we've also, the issue is more fundamental, how we want to approach and play T20 cricket. We, I think, had the same kind of a discussion post last year's World Cup, where we thought, our approach is a little conservative. So we started playing T20 with a different approach, with a lot more freedom. And then we got back to our old approach again. Today, if you look at the game, it was basically between 2 totally different approaches. One, which is old school, which, India has. And the other was the English approach, which is a lot more contemporary, where it's a lot more fearless. So I think the question that we need to ask is, are we playing T20 with the right approach or not? And once we have the answer to that question, I think everything else will start falling into place. If we start looking at T20 cricket as a format where, you play from ball 1 to ball, the last ball until the end of the game, aggressively, trying to hit every ball or whatever, obviously sensibly, and be aggressive right through. I think if that's the answer, then I think obviously then the selection, then how you prepare the team, that all of that will fall into place. But the first question and the basic question that needs to be asked, I believe, is what should be our approach as far as T20
I think you're bang on. I think this game was lost in the power plays. I think the power plays tell the story of this game. India were 38 for 1 at the end of their 6 overs, and England was 63 for no loss at the end of their 6 overs. And if that's how the first 6 overs have played out, for both teams, how far can you go from there, right? I think the game was over in the power plays. Anyway, let me get in more callers, please. Sudhir is calling us from Pune. Sudhir, are you there? All right, let's go to our next caller. Sheshadri is calling us from Bangalore. Mr. Sheshadri.
Good evening, Mr. Jaka.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm Sheshadri from Bangalore.
Yep.
Actually, Jaka, if we come to the cricket is we love like a god in India. But these people has forgot that we are playing the World Cup. Their shoulders were down right from the first ball. And right from this T20 World Cup, which match they have scored more than 6 runs in their power play. Where is our coaches? What our BCCI is doing? First of all, IPL is the base for us. Where are the IPL players? Now all the branded players will come to play IPL for all the 14 matches.
Yeah.
Where are they now to play for the country? Where is Bumrah? Why Jadeja has got injured? Where is your full strength? Where is your right and left combination? Where is your swing? And the ball, if you see the track of the ball was going to the knee of below the knee of the Rishabh Pant. And where it hits, it hits the sweet part of the batters, of the England batters. Your shoulder has gone down. Now BCCI and the coach has to seriously think, and players also has to think that we are going to play for the country, not for all IPL matches.
All right, Sheshadri, thank you for your call. Arun is calling us from Kolkata. Arun.
Yeah, hi Jaka, good evening.
Good evening.
So the point I'm trying to make is that the Indian cricket is facing the similar situation it faced in 2007 World Cup when the first T20 edition was held. At that time, the senior players like Sachin, Dravid and Ganguly opted out of the World Cup. So I think if the senior players in the current lot are not taking that stand, probably the selectors need to take a tough stand on maybe likes of Rohit Sharma or KL Rahul. Because I feel the kind of cricket T20 currently it is demanding where power hitting is required.
Yeah.
You require bowlers who can bowl at 145, 150 kilometers. We are playing with military medium bowlers like Bhuvneshwar Kumar who are not doing the job. So
Okay.
I think selectors need to take a tough stand. At the same time, I think Rahul Dravid also need to do a lot of answering because the coach has a lot of say in the team selection.
Correct.
So I would like to have the experts view on this.
All right. I think one of the points he made is absolutely valid, and Ayaz will remember